Hello, everybody. Welcome back to our class in our week 8, our last discussion, and how it deals with scale and population. Can a government really do a complete job of its main functions of supporting the people, helping the people, and compared that to the population of that country? Our as everything's going on right now, I think it's actually pretty accurate to see how our government tries to help out its people, but yet there's so many people. Where's that fine-tuned balance? Do they go and help out the individuals? Do they help out the masses? Where's that fine balance, and how does the government fine-tune its ability to help out the general population? And so I think with like the COVID-19 and the jobs that people have to put on hold or put on furlough or things like that, and how the government is trying to assist everybody, but even the government between the Senate and the in Congress, they're just trying to fine tune what they're going to put out for, like, let's say, the stimulus packages, who they're going to help out, small businesses, large corporations, the individuals. The more people a country has, the more they have to worry about, obviously. So then, even within that, there's that um, that issue of, is more government better or is less government better? Putting politics aside, not if you're Republican or Democrat, it doesn't matter. We all have that same sense that we have a centralized government to help out the people, regardless of who you vote for, regardless of which way you lean on the spectrum. The government's there is supposed to help us, but then on top of that, when do we start relying on ourselves? When do we start relying on ourselves to help us, and regardless of what the government's going to do for us, when do we as humans be like, you know what, I need to take matters in my own hands and really just kind of fend for myself and make sure that I'm taken care of, make sure that my family's taken care of. So there's always those little fine lines, and as you can look around, there's examples of individuals that rely solely on the government. So does the government help those individuals out first, or what about the ones that need a little bit of help? They're still able to work, but yet they still need a little bit of help. Does the government just solely focus on them? What about the larger corporations that employ hundreds of thousands of individuals? Does the government go and help them? And also, so these are like questions that really are kind of hard to really figure out and answer. So you kind of gotta really step back and look at the larger picture here, because it's one of those things that really came into play, um, that really matter. Like how does scale, how does size really affect our government's ability to take care of the people? And I'm going through some of the research. I found a few sources out there. This is quite a bit of sources, but what I wanted to do was really look at the different type of government assistance programs out there that individuals go on. Now, regardless of how you feel if somebody should be on government assistance or not, the government's there to assist individuals who really need the help. And going through some, David Yeager and a bunch of co-authors put out measuring issues about government assistance programs. Are they working? Are they not working? Then you get hit by a pandemic like COVID-19, and more people go on these assistance programs that weren't on them before. So now you have an overload of the system, and the government's, priority is to take care of all the individuals. You have the ones that have been on there for a longer time, and then you have these new individuals on the same government programs. So by having these programs, are you going to stretch out the government's ability to take care of the people? And then if they're too busy taking care of those people, what about the individuals who don't need the assistance but still need some kind of government intervention to help them, whatever they may be doing? So I think scale has a huge impact, or the population scale has a huge impact on the government's ability to take care of its population. Um, it's something that we could debate for months and months and months. And I think what's really important is to understand is that there has to be a time that we as individuals, we as humans, have to kind of say, the government's help is nice and I enjoy it. However, I still need to take care of my own. I need to make sure that I'm taking care of my family. I'm taking care of my own issues. I'm not going to always rely on someone else to bail me out. And then, when the time really happens, a little bit of government assistance is always going to help me, but I can still survive on my own. So these are all questions, that can really get your mind going, whether or not the government, or sorry, whether the population scale affects government's assistance to that population. A lot of different countries out there who run the governments, different ways and stuff like that. But I don't live in those countries. Obviously, I live in the United States, and my own personal views is that while the government does, help its individuals, I'm still responsible for myself and my family, and I'm going to do what it takes. I don't really need, that sort of resources and stuff like that. So, discussion is, like I said, we can discuss it for months and months. I've enjoyed this discussion very much, researching it, and it's been actually quite a pleasure. Thank you.